Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Jay. I'm one of the Plotdrive co-founders. I'm going to show you in 10 minutes how to write 4,000 words, consistent words, using Plotdrive, show you the core workflow that I like to call the Plotdrive Flow Loop, show you how to control these AI models, how to link context together into more advanced workflow sequences that allow you to maintain consistency of voice and style over the course of a long form piece of writing. In this case, we're going to start a book and we're going to go really, really fast to do that. So you can start really from anywhere. I am going to come in and I'm going to start this project vested for you. I have an idea, I have a premise, and so I'm going to rename this document just like idea. And part of the way I like to use Plotdrive is I like to write freely in my own words until I need AI to call at my fingertips. So I'm actually going to hide these buttons just by pushing this and get out of my way because I know my idea and I just want to write it. You can use AI to help you write an idea, but I'm just going to show you my way right now. So once every century, 12 timelines merge for demo day. Uh, a, a sacred cutthroat ritual where founders pitch products. Oh, not products, but destinies. When Kiera, I don't love that name, but we're going to keep it there for now, an exiled angel cursed to bring failure infiltrates the contest to end the cycle. She falls for the reigning champion, a seductive liar who's rigged his pitch for 300 years. If he wins again, the loop resets. If he loses, he dies. If she loves him, the system burns. So the core, now that I got the idea, the core to the Plotdrive Flow Loop, and I'm going to give a nod to our friends at the Future Fiction Academy, who have really done so much work with novelists and writers who are learning AI to develop tactics for keeping consistency. It's really about connecting context to these models in a consistent way and giving them good instructions to do what you want to do. So to do that, first in order to start writing a book and get our 4,000 words written, we need to make components, like context components for the book. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to rename this initial folder Story Foundations. And then I'm going to add a new document to that folder. And now I need to expand my idea into a hook and a pitch. And this is where I'm going to use the AI to start going fast. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to toggle on my idea. What the toggle switch is, these are your context controls. It's really simple. Basically, if it's on, the AI sees what's in the document. If it's not on, the AI does not see it. And so right now, we're going to use AI buttons. And Go is a really amazing all-purpose button. Basically, what it lets you do is prompt, give AI instructions right in the document. You can just come up with these prompts on the fly. So what I want to do is say, expand my idea into a hook and a pitch that hits the most compelling tropes for target readers of this subgenre, and for me, it's romantasy, which is a popular subgenre. I've been playing around with writing it. I like to play around with a lot of different styles in Plotdrive. I've written many different kinds of books. Haven't done a romantasy yet, and let's just hit go and see what it does. And I've got Claude 4 Sonnet selected, which is a 1.5 credit model on the Plotdrive credits plan. It's really good all-purpose model for lots of different forms of writing. It's one of the smartest, and it'll get you pretty good results. The other thing I would add is like you can really refine your results probably in the most impactful way, like getting the most leverage out of the output of the AI models by adjusting your prompt. And one of the ways I like to sort of explain this or teach this is imagine your favorite piece of writing, like, or your favorite author. Think about like a paragraph or a page of their work and think about like how much movement, how much they're able to explain, how much emotion they're able to put into your mind only over the course of a few sentences. You can get that kind of leverage packing the right kind of clarity and content into your prompt. So there's many ways I could have improved this, but it's good enough for this demo. So we've got a hook. The Hunger Games meets Good Omens. That sounds pretty good. It's got some core tropes. Sounds good. I'm going to accept that. I can also reject it or rerun. And this button down here lets me scroll to the feedback options to let me put this in my document. Okay, next component. I think this is good enough like for getting us some character sheets. So now I need to develop character profiles. And to do that, I'm just going to use go again. Can you make me core character profiles for the two leads and the POV protagonist and the love interest and the supporting cast? And since I flipped on hook and pitch, it will know, okay, I need to use that context as well, including the idea to make these. And you have control of everything. So like if you don't like this as it's writing, you can stop it, you can refine your prompt. If you like some of it, but you don't like all of it, you can accept it and then go in and edit it and expand it. You can use some of the AI buttons that we have when you highlight text to actually revise and have the AI help you revise according to your instructions, or you can just good old fashioned slash it yourself, come up with better ideas, come up with twists on this. Like all writers who work with AI have different workflows, just like all writers who don't use AI all have different ways of writing and finding their voice and connecting with their audiences. And so craft above all, judgment above all. You can use the AI and just let it drive the whole way, but I really recommend to get the best quality if you care about really doing your absolute best work and creating a great finished product. Reading and validating everything and making sure like, is this the kind of narrative or kind of writing that feels consistent to what I want to put out into the world or whatever my objective is. So, but for our purposes, the clock is ticking, so we got a speed run. Again, I'm going to flip this on for the next document, and now I need to come up with some setting info. Give me the setting info to support the structure of a full novel. And again, like there are way better prompts that I can give to generate setting info, but that one's good enough for what we are doing right now. I'm only trying to illustrate how to go fast and hit that word count. And the more you experiment with your workflows and also lean in using some of the other buttons, which I'll show you a bit of those later on in the video. You've also got lots of buttons in your button library, and you can create your own, like for any idea, any workflow operation, push a button. Some people, like I've written full books just using Go and Fix It, which is like the all-purpose revision button. But some people have like 20 button workflows that they use. So really, sky's the limit. Creativity is your only constraint. And lots of authors and writers are sharing strategies for the best ways to prompt and use different LLMs. I'm just using Claude, but like some people like to use like some of the OpenAI models and then swap in Claude for writing, swap in some open source models on their own API keys for different kinds of writing or different subgenres. Some people are even fine-tuning models on their own work. So there's really a lot of depth in AI writing that you can access and control through Plotdrive. Okay, we've got setting info. Now we need an outline for the book. And for that, I actually have a pretty good make outline button set up that should just, we push that button. I could use go again and type make outline, but I decided to use this button because it's just convenient and I like it. And interesting that it is actually just writing the fiction. So that tells me I might have to take an audible and edit our button to be more useful. So I'm going to go into make outline right here in the button library. I didn't expect to get this advanced in this video, but I see. So it's saying full draft. So that's wrong. We want a full outline. Okay, so it's using the wrong prompt here. So I've set this button up incorrectly. So I'm actually just going to be like using the active context, make me a detailed outline for a novel. And then I'm going to hit generate prompts. This is showing you how to make a button. I'm actually showing you how to edit a button that is not working well too. So here we go. And I don't actually need current text after the cursor for this. That seems good enough. Okay, now it should work. And I'm going to fix that as well for everybody who has make outline and is coming into this. So here we go. This is much better. Now we're actually getting an outline. And while that goes, I'm actually going to set us up to start working on a draft. So I'm going to make a folder, draft one. I'm going to start adding documents to that. Chapter one, I'll add chapter two, and that's just enough to get us through this video. And okay, still going. And I'll take this time if you like this video, if you want to see more Plotdrive tutorials. This channel is going to be devoted to education, teaching you how to use and execute different workflows from the simple to the highly complex. Inside Plotdrive, we're going to be making multiple videos a week. And so please would love the likes and subscribes to help people learn how to use the software a lot more effectively and easily. Okay, we got an outline. Again, if I was really sort of digging into this, I would probably read the outline and edit it, but we've got to go at full speed. I now need chapter breakdown. So I need a plan to write the chapters. And can you come up with a chapter breakdown plan that will be helpful to writing the chapters? And again, it's got all our context, including our outline. And I'm going to hit go. It's really the reason I'm doing this and not just starting to write based on the outline is that these AI models do a lot better when they have a plan for writing the chapter. So you can imagine, like, if you're going to use them to help you draft, you really want to think of them almost like you've just got hired a ghostwriter, and now you're telling the ghostwriter everything about that you want to achieve in your book, and you also want to um, you want them to understand, like, here's the detailed instructions for like how you I want you like what I want to have happen in this chapter, what I want you to do, sort of you can get as detailed as possible or you can go as broad as possible, but really you want to give them some sort of scaffolding that's deeper than an outline to guide and direct the AI to be more effective in its outputs. So while this is happening, I'm also going to create another document called writing style. This is something we have on the new landing page where you can like paste in any copy of your writing style and then get the AI to follow it. And really, since I don't have a writing style for this yet, we're going to develop it here with Go. But if you did have like a sample of your own writing and you wanted to sort of continue writing in that style, or there was a style that you were trying to develop, this is the last thing we're going to do before we start writing the book and get our 4,000 words. We're going to develop the writing style. And so I say all this to be like, if you have some existing voice and you want to experiment with riffing off it, one of the best ways to do that is make a document or even use the import button to import some of your existing writing, and then make sure that that document, once it's filled with information about your writing style, both a description of it and some examples, have that toggled on. And when you direct the AI, continue writing in this style, it's going to get you, I won't say 100% accurate. We'll probably make some videos in the future about how to get it like as close as possible, but it's going to get you a lot closer than if you didn't have that example. It's going to do a decent job, especially with some of these more advanced AI models like OpenAI or Gemini Pro or Claude 4 Sonnet. Like, they're getting more and more intelligent at following instructions and following examples. So let's see how the chapter breakdown document's doing. Looks like it's done. Again, I really should be validating this. If I was doing like a real run at making a book that I was gonna like, I'd be reading this, probably making edits, and have more control. Some writers, though, prefer to let the AI do everything, and they really trust their prompting in their workflows, but we've got everything. I'm going to remember to clear the prompt actually out of the document. I want to make sure that anything I've used Go with, I've got that prompt still up there. So just getting rid of these prompts, these instructions, is going to ensure that the AI doesn't get confused the more toggle documents we have going into its context window. So we got the chapter breakdown. Want to toggle that on. And can you give me a description of what a popular writing style and POV would be like for this type of book that could be successful? Follow it with 2 paragraphs of prose description and dialogue as an example of the writing style, which I think is probably going to be good enough. And we're going to use Go to do that. Okay, so it wants to do close third person POV, alternating between the two of them. I don't love that. It's a bit more complicated, like uh, in terms of managing multiple voices. I've done this in a book that I wrote. I actually had like 3 characters switching point of views every chapter. It was really cool. But I think that's a more advanced workflow. I'm going to go with actually like um, describe first person POV writing style that would really crush it with readers who we're targeting in our ideal audience. Because, I'm just like, you know what? I want to write first person. I want to really inhabit. I think that would be fun. Let's go first person for this book. It's also going to be pretty simple. So here we got a pretty interesting description and a bit of an example. Again, good enough. Like, here's a spot where like I would probably as like a actual proper writing session, I would personally, as a writer, probably try to find the voice of Kira, and I'd probably try to find her real name too that I liked. And I would try to develop it like just sitting there for an hour thinking. Maybe using AI on like a line by line basis to sort of experiment with different opening lines. I really love like creative writing exercises that are around like come up with five different opening lines for your story because or your essay or whatever because I feel like when you do that kind of iteration, at least for me, I can catch the voice. And once I catch the voice, it's like a bolt of lightning from the heavens almost. I can I personally as a writer have an easier time following it and thinking my way through what's happening. And so what I might do for this is like really develop that in a way that I felt was more human control than it was AI generated. And then I would use the AI to draft based on that style. But we're going to do this, and we're going to go to chapter one, and then we're going to say, I think everything should probably be toggled on. Might be able to get rid of the idea, but I'll just keep it all on. As you go further in a very long form piece of work, you start to run into potential context limits with different AI models, meaning they do a lot better the more precise you can be with the context that you give them, i.e., the information they need to execute the operation they're about to execute. So if this were a video about like how do you write a 30 chapter book while managing the context window, which is probably a good idea for us to do, I would be showing you techniques where we might be in chapter 20 and we might have toggled off some of this stuff and maybe made a summary of what like happened in act 1 and all the way to the midpoint of the book. That would be enough context for it to continue. But here, since we're just starting from this, draft chapter 1, let's just see how many words it writes if we hit go and say draft chapter 1. And it's going to use the chapter breakdown. It's going to use the writing style. And so now we have, components. We made the plan to write the chapter, and we're writing the chapter. And we'll see if it gets us. I want to hit 4,000 words on this video, so we're going to see how many words it writes and when it stops. And I'm going to show you if it stops in the middle, which sometimes happens when you're trying to hit more than 1,500, more than 2,000 words in one shot. I'll show you how to use another really useful button to continue writing right from where you left off. But we're going to see if it makes its way all the way to the end and if it hits the word count. This, by the way, I think this is a pretty fun story. As a startup founder and a writer who loves love, I think this is a pretty fun story. Okay, I need to turn on in my settings the token word count to see what we hit. Okay, so we've got 2261 words, so we want to get more out of it. And I haven't read the chapter, so I'm just looking at it though, eyeballing it. Doesn't seem like that's an ending. It could be, but I'm going to actually use continue now. So this picks up your writing right from the last sentence and keeps going in the same style. I'll show you the prompt since we already went into the button library and showed you this. So please read everything. Please continue writing immediately from the last word. Okay, so that one seems like it's right. And let's hit continue and see if we can get at least our 4,000 word goal. And after this is done, the last thing I'm going to show you once we hit the goal is how to use co-writer and how to come up with an editing plan for chapter 1 for my next session. If I want to come back and actually like really think hard about, okay, before I go on and write this whole book, do I even love the first chapter? Like, could I make that better? and can I make a plan for chapter two, and so on. So we're gonna see how where this goes, how many words it hits. It's still going, so I honestly might blow past 4,000. I've probably blown past the 10 minutes on this video, but I think that's okay. We've got a steampunk founder in here. Does look like this is culminating. Yep, there we go. And so we have 5,070 words. There you go. 5,070 words. Chapter one is done. This feels complete. And now I'm going to show you as the final touch how I might use co-writer here. So co-writer can read all the documents and sits alongside us, kind of knows our story, and really can help us out. Um, this, again, just like I showed you lots of different ways to use buttons, co-writer has lots of different ways that you can use it. But I want you to, can you read my story foundations documents and chapter one and critique it to give me an editing plan for my next session? I want to sit down with a coffee, read chapter one, and read your editing plan for it, and then spend a session making edits to really improve the quality of my work. And let's see how co-writer does at this. So just like the buttons are really useful when the switches are toggled on, co-writer is really useful when you tell it in the chat what to look at. And it's got these tools where it can read all the different documents, can understand them, can understand what you're asking co-writer, and then it can sort of execute different operations, can help you plan, help you explore, and it can help you create content. Can do lots of different things. Sky's the limit, and you can try asking it anything and seeing where it works, seeing where it falls down. We are actively looking for feedback on co-writer to help it make it even more useful and more eventful for you. So I think it may have stalled, so I might have to prompt it again. Let's see. Continue reading. Sometimes it stalls when you give it like a lot of operations at once, so I might have given it too many things to do. And provide a detailed critique and editing plan for me. Working its way all the way through the chapter. Reading the story foundations again. I think we need like when it's using a tool, we need like that Jeopardy theme music. Okay, we'll try this one more time. I think I gave it too many documents to read, and so that's something that we're gonna have to work on the development end. And there we go. Okay, we've got now an editing plan. I'm gonna move this down here. We'll watch while it does the magic. And we'll read our editing plan. We'll sip our coffee in this adorable mug. Here we go. Detailed editing plan. While you sit down with your coffee for your editing session, you'll have a thorough roadmap to guide your revisions. The plan is designed to help you build on the strong foundation you've already created. I can ask it some follow-up questions, and we can see co-writer created this. Okay, so there's some info dumping. Backstory integration, so I'll spend some time thinking about the characters in my next session. Okay, rules and stakes. This is some good stuff to think about, especially since AI did a lot of the work. So here we go. We got an editing plan, questions to consider during my morning walk, during my evening dog walk. I'll accept this. And there we have it. So that's the Plotdrive Flow Loop in action. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. You can try Plotdrive for free and try this out yourself. You can import existing work. You can start something new like this. This is one workflow that's pretty useful in order to go write chapter two. Kind of self-explanatory. I would toggle on chapter one, go to chapter two, and use Go. I might use write draft. I might make my own button like write chapter to do that. So sky's the limit here. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was useful. And if you have any ideas for or questions that you think would make great tutorial videos that you want to watch, please reply in the comments and let me know. I'll take a look and you might influence the next set of videos.